Leader Raila Odinga is expected to open a two-day Nyanza Regional Blue Economy Conference in Kisumu town this morning. The conference is a precursor to the forthcoming launch of rehabilitated port of Kisumu. Let's link up now with the reporter Kevin Ogutu with much more details. Kevin Ogutu, good morning. Kindly bring us up to speed with the Blue Economy Conference that's happening in Kisumu.
Well, a very good morning, Brenda. We are coming to you live from one of the hotels in Kisumu, and just 1 minute ago, I was made to understand that Agriculture CS Mwangi Kiunjuri is on his way to this particular hotel for this conference, Blue Economy Conference, that will be kicking off in a matter of minutes. So that tells you how important this particular exercise is. And given that we're talking about the opening of the port that has been rehabilitated at a cost of about 3 billion shillings, we are yet to really know the date. But from the ongoing, we are made to understand that any moment from now, it could be officially launched by the President of the Republic of Kenya. So we are here for the Blue Economy Conference. I'll be speaking with one Linda Nyaboke, who is a research scientist at the Kenya Marine and Fisheries Research Institute in Kisumu. But this is something that many of Kenyans really don't get it right when you talk about blue economy. What does it really mean? So there have been several references to the blue economy, but in as far as we are concerned here, in this particular age, we could define it as to mean the various economic sectors and policies that look towards ensuring that there is sustainable extraction or use of the marine resources. So here we have got several economic sectors. We have the traditional industries, that is the transport, the marine transport. We also have the tourism, and we also have fishing, which is a major one. But apart from that, over the years, and because of the rising populations against a constant resource, which are the various water bodies. And talking about water bodies here, we are talking here in reference to Lake Victoria, which is a shared resource between the three countries of East Africa. We've had other economic activities, other economic sectors coming into play, so that we have extractive industries, the mining of the sand, and also we have got offshore renewable energy exercises. So we have a number of issues, a number of activities when you talk about blue economy. But all this put together, the bottom line is that there is need for a sustainable approach towards ensuring that we extract or we use this particular natural resource. So this particular conference comes at a time when we are highly anticipating the official launch of the rehabilitated port of Kisumu. Of course, the government will be giving a clear date later on, but from our sources, we are made to understand that it could be around the 20th of this month. This is subject to confirmation, and this is supposed to be, this particular conference is bringing together various sector players, every other person, private sector, county government officials, and also the national government officials, together with the various departments. As I mentioned, I'm right here at the stand of the Kenya Marine and Fisheries Research Institute. So these are some of the key players that need to come together and chart the way forward on now as we on how best to utilize this natural resource that the lake and its environs, as we talk about the launching of the port and also the fishery, the fishing and the fisheries exercises, and also the transport and tourism. So I'll be speaking with one of the officials of the Kenya Marine and Fisheries Research Institute. As I mentioned, we have one Linda Nyaboke, who is a research scientist here at the Kenya Marine and Fisheries Research Institute. So welcome to KTN News, Linda. And I was trying to break down for Kenyans what this particular term, blue economy, means. We're talking about the various economic sectors within this big ecosystem and how there is need for a sustainable approach to it. But from your own end, how do you really put the importance of this economy, Blue Economy Conference, and maybe break down for Kenyans from your end what really this means for the economic growth of the region?
Thank you for the opportunity. Well, as KMFRI, our mandate is in marine and fisheries research. So when it comes of the blue economy, Blue means the water. So the economy is what else can we do with the water? So in Blue Economy, we're trying to promote the use of our lake, diversification of what to do with our lake beyond just capture fisheries that people are used to. So here at our exhibition, we have different items or different industries that can be grown in the Blue Economy. We'd like to sensitize Kenyans of what else you can do beyond capture fisheries. So maybe if I take you through our stand, for instance, we have the issue of aquaculture development. As an institute, we are having 3 aquaculture stations in which we are involved in production of quality seeds for our customers, and also the issue of feeds, the fingerlings, because these 2 items have been a big issue in aquaculture development. They're expensive, making our production a bit expensive. So as an institute, we've been able to develop quality fingerlings and quality fish feeds that we're able to supply to our farmers at a subsidized cost. Another industry we'd like to highlight is the aquarium industry development. As a Blue Economy venture, not many people are aware of it. We have aquariums in hotels, but right now we're trying to show our people that even our indigenous fish from the lake, they can be used for this aquarium. For instance, the haplochromins is an indigenous fish called fulu in the local language. This fish, you find it retailing for about 7,500 when you go to European market or European auctions. But we'd like to bring it on board as one of the aquarium species that you can use here. We find our people harvesting it. It is not regarded as important because it's very small. Even when you go to the market, the buying price, you get a plate maybe for 150, which means you are giving it a very low value, as opposed to having it being used in aquarium development. Another industry in fisheries that we'd like to create awareness is the issue of recreational fishing industry. It has been there for long, maybe not picking up so much. People might not be aware of this, but we have aquarium development being used, especially in areas, in our lake, in the open lake, we have it. Although we have other recreation activities that we're having in our waters. Say the issue of water sports, maybe not so prominent, but they're still happening. We have sailing. We have sailing that started way back in the 1930s with the Kisumu Yacht Club. Yes, so these are some of the Blue Economy activities that we'd like people to be aware of, to embrace, so that we have diversity and we avoid this over-reliance on not just people knowing that they only do capture fisheries only. Okay. Yes.
Well, thank you very much, Linda Nyaboke. And I'm seeing the CEC in charge of environment and water for Kisumu County, who is none other than Salmon Orimba. This is more like an ambush, but we are here for the Blue Economy Conference. Kisumu is hosting this, and we are having this just some days before we officially launch the rehabilitated port of Kisumu. And we are talking about various economic sectors coming into play, but the bottom line here is that there is need for that sustainable approach. So what kind of role does Kisumu as a county sitting next to the lake intend to play in the realization of this?
Kisumu County, we actually are the host county to this conference that is taking place, and Blue Economy Conference is a conference that brings together governments, investors, and other players to harness the potential of the water bodies. And here we are talking about the inland water body, that is Lake Victoria, and how we connect the activities at the coast, Kenyan coast, to the inland waters. So that's what we are trying to do. And in terms of creating jobs, and food security, and also harnessing what we call opportunities in terms of economic growth. We are looking at a scenario where we ask the county sitting right at the lake how sustainably we can be able to preserve the water bodies, environmental health in terms of making sure that whatever is discharged into the lake is done in a sustainable manner and in line with the set standards. As Kisumu County, we know this is going to help us increase tourism, marine transport, and economic activities that are geared toward increasing our fisheries management. And we are also looking at ways of having the port increase the marine transport in terms of creation of jobs and economic activity in terms of goods coming from Kisumu to the neighboring countries and countries as well. Because we know we have Uganda that depend on this lake in terms of transport, And the oil that is going to come from Kisumu will be able to be transported directly to Uganda through the lake.
Somebody who is watching this particular segment, we are in News Center at KTN News, will be wondering now, as a local from Kisumu, where do I fit in this mix of blue economy?
In this mix of blue economy, because blue economy basically it's supposed to, we're supposed to develop a conversation around the use of, sustainably, the use of water bodies, water resources. And we are talking about, we are talking about marine transport, and that will create jobs to our people, and taking goods from Kisumu to the towns surrounding the lake. So those who are within Kisumu and the common Mwananchi, the job creation is one. Movement of goods within the lake is also one, and also increased fishing activities within the lake. So we expect that our people will benefit in terms of tourists coming in, and also the investors who will be able to identify the potentials in terms of investment within the lake. It will increase the economic activity and provide jobs to our people.
Well, thank you very much. That is Salmon Orimba, who is the CC in charge of water and environment in Kisumu County, trying to break down what really this means for the locals here. In as much as we talk about marine transport, we talk about tourism, and we also talk about fishing. So this now sets the stage for this 2-day Blue Economy Conference that is supposed to end tomorrow, and we are hoping to get more from the various exhibitors, and those will be presenting their views on where this blue economy should take not just Kisumu, but the entire region economically. Back to you in studio, Brenda.